Hello and welcome to KVTV. I am Switch, and today we are talking about carnival business and we are exploring the business of carnival. With me today is Mr. Angel Stewart, and he is a young entrepreneur in the carnival industry, and he's going to speak to us about mycarnivalbands.com.
And we at
Mayaro.
and this is KVTV. Grand Lagoon is a beautiful beach. So as Guayagarari it have, and also St. Joseph, which is one of the beaches that we are going to check.
Hi guys, my name is Khadija. This is KVTV and tonight we're at Red Runway. Hi, you're here today with Cali Village TV at Maracas Beach, one of the most popular beaches in Trinidad. As you can see, there's lots of people around. This beach is not empty.
Well, it's carnival time in Trinidad and Tobago, and the entire island are buzzing with activity. Every section in the carnival industry is alive and buzzing right now. And speaking of sections, do you know which section you're playing in, and do you know which band you're playing in this year? Well, Mr. Angel Stewart is here to help us with that. And mycarnivalbands.com is the website that has been developed to help us with this. How are you doing, Angel?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Tell us about the website and how it was developed.
MyCarnivalBands.com is an online portal that features several of the top carnival bands worldwide. We're focusing on Trinidad Carnival as our soft launch, but our goal is international. It allows you to come online in one location and find all the costumes from the majority of the top bands for Carnival, for Juve, and even some of the top designers for Monday Wear.
Okay. What has the response been so far?
The response has been excellent, both from the bands and from the general public. We actually sold out our allocation from one of the top bands, Tribe, within a couple of minutes of the site going live on November the 7th.
Okay, so you mentioned Tribe. What about some of the other bands that you have involved with?
We have Tribe, which is Tribe and Bliss. We have Yuma. We have Legacy. Okay. We have as well Just Friends, which is a smaller, more traditional type band. We also have Utopia Mass, and a couple other carnival bands. In terms of Juve, we recently partnered with Caesar's Army for their presentation Ambush, which is the unique Saturday morning Juve experience that they've been bringing out for the last couple of years. That was a huge success for us and for them as well. We managed to sell hundreds of their Juve packages in the space of about a day. What would have normally taken them 3 to 5 weeks to do, they were able to convert in a day, which is all through online credit card transactions. So they fulfilled their quota, and they can now move ahead to their next thing, which in this case is my time.
Okay. So we're talking about registering online, purchasing your costumes and so on. What about the people who are skeptical about online transactions and so on, their identity theft and that kind of thing?
Well, that was a concern. This took a lot of work in terms of planning and preparation. It's been about a year. We really started planning this in about October 2012. So that was one of the questions that we got from some of the focus groups. The fact is probably about 480,000 Trinidadians are online and with active presences on the internet. Probably more by this time. And we have seen an explosion in the skybox delivery companies, as we all know. almost every month there's a new one coming out. The reason for that is that so many Trinidadians are shopping online with their credit cards. So in looking at that trend, we decided that, you know what, the risk of it not being accepted is not as high now as it might have been, let's say, 2 or 3 years ago. And based on the response from the public as well, and the fact that, I guess, as a startup, you have your ideas of what your market is, how your market is going to react, how you're going to make money. You have these ideas, but until you launch, which is why it was very important for us to launch, until you launch and until you get yourself out there, you're not really 100% certain. Okay. We're still learning a lot. And what we found is we have sales.
All right.
We have hundreds of costumes, hundreds of items sold. And that tells us that, yes, people are willing to buy.
Okay. So, who are your main targets and how do you intend on marketing to them and how do you reach your main targets?
Because this was a soft launch and it's really a bootstrapped company, if you will. As you see, my office is a home office. I don't have a fancy location with growth or anything like that. It has been funded by myself as well as a small group of investors who took a chance both on me and on the idea. So our advertising has been what my background is, which is more digital. So we advertise very heavily on Facebook. Well, actually not very. We've only recently started pushing Facebook ads. Prior to that, it was more organic growth through Facebook. And we're also going to be targeting, Google ads and that sort of thing. Really trying to keep it in the digital space for now. In terms of our target market, that has actually turned out to be women between the ages of about 21 to 36. About 75% of the people that use the site and access us on Facebook are women within that demographic, and that's actually a very important demographic for advertisers, as well as the Carnival Bands themselves. So that's how it turned out.
Well, a couple of years ago, the band Ruction had a song called Carnival is Woman. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes. Yeah.
But the thing about the women is that, they are very picky and choosy. For the men, it's all about where the women are going to be, and that's the decision. So we know how the public are going to access the website and so on. What is the benefit for the band itself?
Well, the immediate benefit for any band is the fact that you kind of always want to be where Carnival is. So being a part of the system is another advertising and marketing medium, which has a very low cost of entry. So that's one reason why you want to be there. Secondly, the value add of us handling your online credit card transactions is also something that is very attractive for most bands. The other side of it as well is our band management system and band management facility, which allows bands that, they may have a system already. A lot of them don't. They may still be using, paper sheets and paper cards to very rapidly move into the digital space and to modernize their operations, which gives a very definite improvement in efficiency, customer service, as well as reduces your costs. Mm-hmm. If you can move your costumes in a day as opposed to a month or 2 months, there's real value in that for you. If you can collect your money and have it in your bank account in a shorter period of time, any business, there's tremendous value in that. And that is what our track record so far, in the short time that we've been operating, has proven that we can do.
Okay. Now, for the people who have access to going to the bands themselves, going into the mass camps or going to the band's websites, as opposed to going on to mycarnivalbands.com, is there a difference in price?
Initially, what we're doing is we're trying to cover our costs, our administrative costs, our development costs, etc., by charging a very small processing fee to the customer. So far, it hasn't been an impediment for people to use the service, and it's also no different to what obtains for other online similar services such as Eventbrite, Ticket Gateway, Ticketmaster, or even Amazon. You know, there is a cost. Whether in the future this is rolled up into other packages or whether it remains a separate processing fee is really up to negotiation between ourselves and our various partners.
Okay. Now, what is the ultimate plan for the website? I mean, you say that this is the soft launch and you're just started. What is your ultimate goal for the website?
The the ultimate goal or the end game is really to bring together as many different aspects of the consumer side of Carnival as possible. Again, not just focused locally, but focused internationally. We already have discussions with a couple bands in Barbados. We're going to be in Jamaica as well, and we're looking forward to Toronto. So being international, being that international location and point of information for Carnival worldwide is definitely a big part of where we intend to go. But more than that is forming connections and forming relationships around Carnival worldwide by persons interested, by entrepreneurs who want to launch into and enter the Carnival arena, whether it is jewelry, whether it is this this new trend of Monday wear, but it's even makeup artists. There is great scope for people to do business in this arena, do business in this environment. And what we found from our focus groups and from talking to people is that the support network, the marketing network, isn't there currently to service these entrepreneurs. So I guess what I want is that for the future, when you want to do something in the Carnival space, you consider mycarnivalbands.com first, and we're able to allow you to shorten your time to market, whether you want to start a new Carnival band or whether you want to provide some of the cottage industries around Carnival, and not just limit you to your geographic location, because the world is global. It's a global market, and our focus for growth and development is global.
Okay. Now, your background, work-wise, education-wise, is technology.
My background is technology, as well as more recently project management and business development.
Okay. What other ways do you see technology helping the Carnival industry, the Carnival business?
I think that technology is changing extremely rapidly. And one of the mandates for developing mycarnivalbands.com, why I did from the ground up, as opposed to using a store like a service like Shopify or OS Commerce or something, is because I wanted to develop a platform that was infinitely expandable. That's how I have had the platform built. I've used some of the latest technologies, HTML5, responsive design, and so on, simply because in the next 2 years, I don't necessarily know exactly where technology is going to be. Google Glass is coming out this year, which is going to be, in my view, a game changer for the way people interact with technology. Basic technology like their cell phone. To be able to have your cell phone interface and user interface floating in the air in front of you produces several new opportunities. For example, you as a mass band, you have a mass camp right now. Yes, of course, and that's extremely necessary, where people can go and see the costumes. However, when something like Google Glass catches on, is that mass camp and mass band, that location, physical location, going to be 100% necessary when someone can bring up your band and have a full 3D view of your model in the costume, or come to your mask camp, look at a bare mannequin, and on their display, actually select a costume and have that costume there in 3D, almost in front of them. These are some of the directions that technology is heading to, and I want to be in front of everything I've done in my past with my web development company, Sugar Islands, has always sort of been on the cutting edge. And I want to really be on the leading edge of technology with my Carnival Bands. It's a small company, it's going to remain a small company, it's going to remain lean and mean, so that as quickly as things change, we're able to iterate and take advantage of it.
Okay. Well, sounds good. You seem to have your stuff together. Let me put you on the spot here now. You're dealing with a few different bands on your website. Which band you play with?
I think this year I will be taking a backseat for playing with a band and more being involved with looking at things from a high level, probably on the road.
Okay, good answer. This Mr. Angel Stewart has been speaking to us about mycarnivalbands.com. Of course, you can check them out on Facebook. Where else can they access?
We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter as well, same tab, My Carnival Bands, and of course the site itself, mycarnivalbands.com.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for speaking with us again and giving us this information about your website and so on. This has been Carnival Business, where we explore the business of Carnival here on KVTV. I'm Switch. See you next time.